Welcome to the highlight show for Group 6 of the Ultimate Pool Champions League. Brian Halcrow, former World Champion Jon McAllister and two Pro Series champions in Declan Brennan and Cooney are in this group. Let's get straight into the first match. Jon McAllister and Declan Brennan. We join it halfway through the first frame and Gareth Potts joins myself, Simon Webb, on commentary.
Fraction unfortunate that he landed completely hampered over the 8-ball, which meant that he couldn't get any closer to his work than this. It's still fine. He'll still drop this one into the right corner and drift through for the one into the left corner and leave the two in the middle of the table until the last. But being up past the middle means they are completely unmissable. Of course, the further the cue ball is away from the object ball, the more difficult it is. And as I said, he wouldn't miss the pot. He hasn't, but he has just let the cue ball run a little bit too far, or not far enough off the top cushion, whichever way he played it. But either way, he's got a little bit too much angle on this red.
So tries to pot it as thick as possible to hold the cue ball.
And that's definitely not perfect now.
It looks like if he plays the one in the middle, the cannon's going to knock the red to the side cushion. This isn't guaranteed to go well.
He may have to play the double here, you know. He may have no option but to play the double on the first red as we see it and let the cue ball top into the other ball.
I'm a little bit surprised on the previous shot that he didn't try and get more, if he could get anywhere near the right hand side of the table off the one cushion. Both these reds go top left.
Yeah, and the reason he missed it thick is because he was watching the cannon on the other red. Made the cardinal sin of forgetting about the pot. Yeah, the reason he missed it to the near knuckle is because he knew if he potted it into the middle of the pocket, he was going to push the red to the cushion.
A big chance gone for Jon McAllister. Could have done with a few more rolls on that one for Declan. This is now tough.
Well, it's that tough. He's going to have to go up and down the table. He has no choice. He's got to go in and out of bulk here.
The good news is the reds are all out the way. Is he thinking about a safety?
Yeah, the reason he played the safety is because he knew he could get the yellow over the pocket.
It was a similar sort of idea to the one that Jon McAllister had earlier in the frame. It's one of those that he thought there was a chance the yellow might sneak in, but he knew he was guaranteed the snooker. Clever shot.
He's playing the swerve, one cushion, pop the ball over the top right corner.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot from Jon McAllister. He needs another.
This does cut. I need a razor. Is that thin?
It's very thin.
But it does cut. I think it does cut. I don't know where the cue ball's going. He's playing it.
Well, that showed it did cut because he didn't catch that as thin as he possibly could. So another good chance. Oh, scrap that. It wasn't a good chance, but another chance goes for Jon McAllister. Frustration will build as we're closing on the halfway point in this match, and we haven't finished the first frame.
So, a bit of an edgy start, and I did say it could wipe 5, 6, 7 minutes off. Well, it's going to wipe almost half of the time off.
Ultimate Pool's in its third season, and you can count on one hand the number of frames that have lasted more than 10 minutes. And this one is all but 10 minutes. Shows you how long this frame has been. But it is Declan Brennan, the Northern Irishman, that gets it on the board.
Declan Brennan won the second frame as well with a counter clearance following a Jon McAllister mistake, and he has the break in frame 3.
And he's made a decent fist of it so far. He comes in with a big reputation, but did make a quarterfinals of the Pro Series a few weeks ago, which is not bad in the second Pro Series event. Lost in a 6-red shootout to Aaron Davies on that occasion.
Yeah, not the perfect layout if you're Jon McAllister and if you're 2-0 down and if there's only 4.5 minutes left, because he does have to go for this finish. There's no option. Not necessarily saying you wouldn't go for this finish anyway, but it's a finish that you have to get, and it's a finish that is not all that easy. He's going to attack his problem ball now with some bottom right-hand side.
Wow, very surprising miss, and he's had a bit of fortune here. Cue ball's stuck to the yellow, left nothing on for Declan.
Yeah, and what happens there is he was playing it with bottom right-hand side, and under these slick conditions, what happens is when you play with right-hand side, the cue ball pushes to the left first. And it didn't have time to swing back in, hence why he hit it thick.
Oh, there's a gap.
Yeah,
there's
always a gap.
There is. And that's a nice shot from Declan. He is on one to the bottom corner. And this is essentially, from his perspective, the match right now. He can control himself. Such a surprising miss from Jon, as we see Declan all of a sudden play one.
Yeah, he does have a safety. The one on this top cushion, he could play it as a little double kiss and just bump the double kiss the cue ball back in towards the 8-ball area.
I decided just to feather off it. Looks like it's done the same job. Nothing on. Jon will almost take that. At least put pressure on Declan's next shot. Yeah, put the pressure on. And he's missed, so Jon gets another opportunity. Needs a quick finish now.
Yeah, I think it was more the shot clock put the pressure on there, because he hit that on 1 second, or maybe even less than 1 second, and it's not ideal to be running around the table when it's bleeping and you've got to set yourself for the shot, and then you've got to queue up, and then you've got to take your backswing and the pause at the top of the backswing, and all that obviously becomes rushed. And it was double disaster because he left Jon on his only awkward ball through the gap.
Yeah, Declan's not going to be happy sat there, because he knows he should have won this match by making the clearance in this frame. 3-0 up with a minute and a half on the clock. He'd be done and dusted. Now he's going to have a few anxious moments here, because there's going to be enough time for Jon to make a clearance in the next frame, and he has the break. And it's only 2-1.
They are short matches and you feel so under pressure at the start of the match.
Oh, what a break. Is the cue ball going to stay?
Wow, twice it nearly got kicked in by the red, and twice the other red flicked it out of the way.
Does he have an opener? Yellows look best, but
He
I don't think he has a yellow.
Yeah, he has an opening red. I don't know if he has an opening yellow.
Right,
There's an opening red to the middle, but
I think he'll just be happy to have the opportunity. Yeah, yellows may have been easier here, but the cue ball could easily have gone in off as well.
Double for dough. He has to play it, and he has to get it. If he doesn't, he loses the match.
And he does get it. Lovely shot from Jon.
And he's been a bit unlucky because he's cannoned the yellow across on that top cushion and left himself, well, I thought he's left himself straight. Maybe there's a slight angle.
Could have done with an extra couple of rolls there. Would love to be on the one at the top. I think he can come back though. .33 seconds. Keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
4 pots required.
He's coming around to have a look, but he doesn't really have the luxury of that time. He needs to get on with it.
And the cue ball is running. 20 seconds now.
That's what I mean. I knew the cue ball would have to be travelling, and it's going to be travelling off the back cushion here. He needs to be quick. I'm not sure he's aware of the clock here, but he needs to be very quick.
8 seconds, 2 pots. They're stop shots. And it is 2-2. Fascinating opening match. Declan Brennan should have won it in frame 3. He hasn't, and he has been fully punished. A buzzer beater clearance from Jon McAllister.
All square then. On to our second match, Brian Halcrow and Dom Cooney. And we join Dom Cooney with the opening break.
And Dom Cooney on the break. Controls the cue ball well, but nothing going to go in, so it's going to be Brian with the first opportunity.
Yeah, he definitely took some off that break.
It was
that
almost
was intentional or not, but it was just it was no more than a stun, was it?
Yeah, very light break, really, just about controlling the cue ball. They did open up, but well, you talk about this a lot, don't you? You don't, with that, if you go for that sort of break, you don't get the secondary balls going in. If you don't make one originally, you've not got much hope.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get that rogue ball. You don't get that ball flying around the table that hits another 3 balls on the way around and bumps something and goes in.
What a beautiful opening shot from Brian as well.
Oh, that's the shot of the night so far. 2 cushions right hand side, and to bump that out of the way and leave himself dead straight on this, what you have to say is a problem yellow, because it was affecting those other 2. That was a brilliant positional shot. Followed by a slight overscrew.
Good recovery, though. Very nice.
Yeah, and a confident recovery, isn't it? Hit that with authority up the rail. Easy to, especially the second shot of the night, easy to be a little bit tentative on those ones at the rail. Buzzers having none of it. Smacked it in. I did say in the studio just before that obviously both of these guys will be happy with the first 2 players drawing, but I think Brian will be extra happy because he'll see this as a huge opportunity. The first 2 guys drew. He's playing probably the favourite in the group. Certainly on form, he's the favourite in the group. And he'll see it as a huge opportunity that if he can nick this match... Okay, he's still got another tough 2 matches, but he'd be in a huge position, and certainly a huge position for at least a 6-red shootout, you'd have to say.
Yeah, and it will give him a lot of confidence and belief as well. What an opening start from Brian. It really was an excellent opening shot.
He was very, very, very good tactically under the old rules. And what he lacks in ability, he definitely makes up for with his cleverness and knowing the physics of the ball. Never shied away, never moved away from playing English pool. He's never played any other cue sport discipline. They're very knowledgeable with the physics of the smaller cue balls doing, and I think that's Brian's strong point. Get that cue ball close to the next ball, and just as I say it, have a commentator's curse, because is he on this one down the line? It's close.
Yeah, it looks very tight. I don't think he is from the main camera. And if he's not, he may not be on anything. I don't think you can see the one to left centre.
Yeah, and Brian won't be scared of anybody. He's beaten all of the best players in the world over his time. So in his mind, he's not here to make up the numbers.
I think his biggest issue, certainly in the Ultimate era, has been he's been one of the players that really great shot, great recovery. He's been one of the players to really struggle with the shot clock, and really maybe he just needs that few extra seconds to sort of formulate his plans and get to grips with what he's trying to do out there.
Yeah, I like how he played that swerve shot. If you notice, Brian's back arm is on the inside. What I mean by on the inside is his starting position should be at a right angle, and he's very much on the inside with that, probably a full hand grip's width up the cue. But on that little swerve shot there, he come right up the cue and hit it slowly, and by hitting it slowly, gives the cue ball time to grip on the cloth and swerve around it. Made contact with the wrong yellow there, actually. Just trying to pop the far one in the left middle and just snick the other one on the way through.
Yeah, every shot in that visit just didn't quite get the cue ball right. Yeah, it was a good swerve to recover, but left himself awkward once again. Get to see Dom Cooney for the first time tonight.
And just goes to show, doesn't it, that you play one bad positional shot, the importance of that cue ball. You play one bad positional shot, and the next one becomes a little bit harder, and then you're out of position the next one, and before you know it, you're 1 or 2 balls away from home, and it's gone wrong. And exactly, I think what's happened with Dom first shot here.
Well, he's put that in completely no man's land. Very strange shot.
Yeah, I don't think the red on the side rail doubles. So if that doesn't double, what shot does he have? Other than a safety.
He's a long way from anything, really. Strange shot that he's just played.
Oh,
Good recovery, though.
Yeah, he screwed it with a tracer left-hand side to straighten it up. That would have been, if you watch this, watch how close that this red gets to the cue ball. So he's screwing it. You see, he just plays it with a tracer left-hand side. You just see the rotation. Just straightens the red up. Very good shot. Very good positional shot. He's dead straight on this one into the corner. Very calm around the table, Dom. Nothing phases him and strolls around like he's walking around his front room. He knew he had to be short. Knew there was nothing for being long there because he was then running down the wrong end of the table. 8 balls just in the way here of coming off the top cushion. As he gets a serious amount of left-hand side on it, so he may just have to screw back to the side cushion and take his medicine, take the red from distance.
With that in mind, because he had to be so precise on this shot, do you think there was an argument for saying top through the one to the top left corner, get the one on the left-hand side out the way, while you still had the one at the bottom? Might have made life easier. That's an excellent shot, though.
Yeah, he's played a couple of really good positional shots here. He played that with a rock of left-hand side, and the problem with that was the harder you hit that, the wider it goes and increases the chances of flicking the 8 ball. So another really well-controlled shot. Technically very sound, Dom. You can see there, push the cue through in a dead straight line. Couldn't avoid getting the cue ball close to the side cushion. He couldn't get it away, so had to settle for it here. But when you cue as straight as Dom does, that's no problem.
Well, an excellent first visit to the table for Dom Cooney.
Dom won frame 3 to go in front for the first time, pouncing on a missed pot from Brian Halcrow, who we join at the table halfway through frame 4, following a tactical exchange.
Whoa, what a shot there. That's so unfortunate to go in off.
Oh, like a trick shot, weren't it? They all just opened up and balls went flying in everywhere. He actually played the yellow off the red, which was a really good shot to spot in the first place. And obviously the cue ball was glued to the top cushion, so he couldn't really do anything else other than play it with topspin. If you just look at this, he can't not play it with topspin, and somehow the cue ball spins through all of the balls and tops into that corner.
Hey, it almost parted out the way. He thought there's no way he could go in off in that corner. Very unfortunate, very clever shot that Brian came up with there. Looks like it will cost him this match. Dom just needs to hold his nerve here. 1 minute 57 left. Chance to go 3-1 in front. Interesting the pace he's going through this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would think if you're in practice, this is the pace you would go through it. I know this isn't practice, and I know it's a match, and I know if you win this frame, you've won the match because of the time, but he doesn't want to be going on his backswing every single shot with the bleeps, and I think he's probably just thought to himself, just run through this rack like you would normally and keep things as normal as possible, and that is exactly what he's done.
Yeah, I guess it's make sure you make the clearance.
And he can come out of the blocks.
Come on then, Brian. You are the fastest man in pool. You need to show it now.
Yellow ball's in play.
It's not a nice layout for him to run through, though. Still not a nice layout. Solve one problem. One more to solve. 35 seconds.
Oh, it has to be top left. Yeah, top left and into him.
Half a chance if he gets this shot right. Brilliant. Oh, it's just ran that shade too far. Just has to leave a second on the clock for the golden break, or a potential golden break.
Oh, he didn't have to do that. He had time.
Wow, he did all the hard work. He just had to make the 8 ball to give himself a chance of a potential golden break to tie the scores up.
Brian Halcrow will stay out in the arena. This time he'll take on Declan Brennan, both players in desperate need of a win.
Long way to go, though. And Declan flushed this break, and he gets last ball rolling to drop. He'll be very frustrated that he didn't get the win in the opening match. Had an opportunity at 2-0 up to make it 3-0 that he didn't take. And Jon, to his credit, made a lovely buzzer beater to make it all square. But a great chance here for Declan to set the tone in this match. Sort of layout you'd love to have at the first frame of a match. Nothing in the way. Connect the dots, mind your work.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. Landed on the most awkward red, and that's the one next to this yellow in the middle of the table, the one he's taking here into the left corner. Once this one's out of the way, makes things a lot clearer. He's going to pot this one and come across the table and take the other one away, leave the one over the left centre until the last. Plays it 2 cushions, and always easier to play those shots 2 cushions. If you're playing it 1 cushion, you feel like you're just floating the cue ball into an area. When you're using 2 cushions, you can feel the shot better and feel like you're putting a proper hit on the cue ball. Always easier to get position when you're playing the 2 cushion shot like that.
Well, excellent break clearance from Declan Brennan to get this match number 3 underway.
He had his obviously back to the TV. It's bleeping, and when it's bleeping, he knows you're inside 10 seconds left on the match clock. So I think it all just, oh, your brain can become a little bit mush out there. I can vouch for that. And sometimes you make some strange decisions, and yeah, he definitely had a couple of seconds longer, and had he have potted that 8 ball, I think there probably would have been at least 2 to 3 seconds left on the clock, and well, that would have been enough time maybe for a golden break, but all that's gone, and what matters now is that he gets a result against Declan Brennan. Otherwise, the night will be over for him.
Yellow ball's in play.
Yeah, can be eliminated here with a loss. So important for him to find a victory, and good opening pot here, and a bit more work than Declan had on his potential break clearance.
He's of course got the perfect breaker ball over this left centre to break his bad ball out, and then he's also got the perfect ball to land on, which is the one next to the cue ball. Whenever you're cannoning into a ball, it's always nice to have a guaranteed other option to land on. So now when he cannons into this, it doesn't matter where it goes. As long as he gets it out, he'll be on the one to the middle. And you see he didn't land on the one he cannoned out, but as long as he got it out in the open, he was always going to have a shot at this yellow. And that's what you're trying to do when you're taking your finish out and when you're cannoning into balls. Purposely tried to put that yellow up towards the left corner. Might have looked like he just cannoned into that for no reason, but there was logic behind it, and the logic was that he put it over this corner pocket, and has he hit it hard enough?
I think he's just okay.
Looks like he's playing it with left-hand side to me.
Yeah, had to turn it. Had to turn it. Be disappointed with that.
As I said before, and especially on this slick table, when you play that with left-hand side, it pushes out to the right first, and the slicker the table, the less time it has to come back. Declan didn't want that in, but the fact it has dropped isn't the end of the world. Drop onto this dead weight, leave the cue ball effectively where the red is, and you're snookered. The only difference is he's left a one cushion natural escape to pot this yellow off the side cushion. Oh, he's looking off the top cushion, but off the top cushion means that the cue ball would go close to the 8 ball if he pots it. And he's aiming a little bit wide, I think. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he may have hit the yellow, but he has not hit a contact on a cushion after hitting the yellow, so that's a foul.
Yeah, and the reason I liked off the side cushion escape is because if you look at the position of the yellow, you could have just played the in-off with the cue ball. So forget the yellows there, play one cushion off the side cushion, and just play to pot the cue ball in the corner pocket, and if you'd have got that somewhere near right, you'd have had a very good chance of making the yellow, and of course had a shot at the 8 ball. If you can see the line off the side cushion the cue ball would have been taking, somewhere near and off was about right.
A little bit short from Declan.
Yeah, shake her head because he is short, and the natural angle is taking him into the 8 ball. May have to come across this and pot it in the same pocket as this red.
Just about.
Oh, he tried to narrow the angle of right hand side and just checked up off the cushion in time, I think.
Yeah, good 8 ball in the end. A little bit of an issue at the back end there, but it's still a very nice counter clearance from Declan, and 2-0 up. 13 minutes left on the clock.
Brian Halcrow did manage to get on the board in the next frame with a reverse clearance, and we join him at the table halfway through frame 4 and in the middle of a tactical exchange.
As I said, he has 2 problem yellows down this bottom left corner, but you see the yellow here just below the line in the centre of the table, actually the one he's going to hit now. That would be the perfect ball to play in off one of those 2. That's a good shot from that distance. Catch that too thick and you're in off. Catch it too thin, and you leave Declan one of these 2 reds to the top right corner. So, as I said, he is clever with those sort of shots, and it was a really brave, I would say. It was really brave. Oh, Declan's had a little bit of good fortune.
Yeah, he's made this table very messy.
Once again, Brian plays, I was going to say, a really clever shot. Didn't want that yellow to just drop on top of the 8 ball.
Being ultra critical, you could say he's overhit the shot just a fraction.
But didn't miss a trick in terms of what shot to play. Like you say, just slightly overhit it, but yellows are definitely big favourite.
Oh, what a shot that is.
Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he played it.
Well, I'm going off body language. He walked around the table like he played it.
Yeah, he walked on the table like he potted one over the hole, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, if he hasn't played it, what has he played? That's the question. I think that has to be what he was planning. Still needs another couple of good shots here. Not just the double. So how do you deal with the 8-ball as well?
Yeah, I think the cue ball automatically goes into the 8-ball, but where they go is definitely uncertain.
Oh, he gets the double, and he's on the 8-ball. It's awkward, but he's on it.
Yeah, this is where you don't want it to be straight, isn't it? So you can play across it. If it's straight, it's a real fiddly little jabby one that you can double hit.
It's just off, which helps. And what an out that is from Declan Brennan. That is very special.
Brian Halcrow won a scrappy 5th frame, but it killed the clock, meaning he has to make a golden break in frame 6 to get anything from the match.
All eyes on the 8-ball. Well, it's in motion. It's not going to drop.
Hey, you already got the 6 red world record. You leave mine alone.
The break clearance record of 28 seconds will remain. And it is Declan Brennan that gets the victory he desperately needed. A win and a draw keeps himself in the night.
On to our 4th match of the night, Jon McAllister and Dom Cooney, and it is Jon that has the opening break.
He has a draw to his name. He's up against Dom Cooney, who had a win in the opening round of matches. Declan Brennan has a win and a draw and is currently sitting atop the group. Good opening break from Jon here. Give himself a good chance in this opener.
Well, it was it turned out a good opening result. I'm not sure it was the best opening break. He actually put his hand up there, as you can see. He almost stunned straight on off into the left centre.
Always said the miss hit breaks the one.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as you make a ball, the cue ball stays on the table. That is all that matters.
Key shot coming up for Jon. Just trying to work out how he wants to go about these last few balls. 8-ball in the trickiest position, so it's just a case of working out the route to it.
One thing he definitely doesn't want to be is just off straight the wrong way. If he's straight, it's not too bad. He can screw off a side rail with a bit of reverse side. If the cue ball's fractionally high, it's no good. I think he is straight. Reverse side, but didn't hit it. And what the reverse side means is screwing that back with bottom right hand side means when the cue ball connects with the side cushion, it spins the opposite way. Hence why it's called reverse side, and that would have got him closer to his work. It was on the right line, he just didn't hit it hard enough, and hence why it's left this tricky pot, because he's got to drop it in dead weight. As we said, when you play one bad positional shot, the next one gets harder, and then harder again. And okay, I think he'll pot this red, but he won't be getting on the 8-ball up the cushion. He might have to take it, settle for a double.
He's done well to hit that gap, and he's landed very nicely on the double.
That is perfect on the double. It's dead straight.
And in it goes. Excellent start for Jon McAllister. He gets the first frame on the board with a break clearance. Another look at the double.
2 more clearances from the break give Jon McAllister a 3-0 lead. Dom Cooney is breaking off in a world of trouble.
Jon obviously in a stronger position, having 2 more minutes eaten off the match clock.
And that's 2 of the breaks that Dom's hit in this match have been, well, very poor. This one he got all wrong. He's made a ball, and he may well get out with a break clearance, but I'm not sure he can hit the break much worse.
Could grip it enough to hit the 8 ball. Good shot. Lots of bumps and nudges and cannons here, isn't it? Very good clearance. What about that?
Yeah, very, very quick. Just what he needed to give himself some sort of hope in this match. 3 minutes 36, a dry break. That's plenty of time for a reverse clearance, break clearance combination. So it's a big shot for him. Oh, he hit them well. Oh, wouldn't you know it? It is dry.
What first shot does Dom have? He wants yellows, other than a plant to the right centre.
Oh, that nearly dropped. You can't believe it hasn't dropped. It almost took the lip and went in. And he'll sit down thinking that is the frame. Yes, there's work in a finish here for Jon, but he needed a quick finish there.
Balls in play.
Yeah, I'll spin this one in. Right hand side. What's the cue ball? And it hits the top cushion. Right hand side on it. Cannon his bad balls out. Just like that. With this yellow over the pocket, believe it or not, the one that's over the pocket is his problem ball. If that wasn't there, these would be complete dot to dot. So he'll take this one into the right corner, and then he will take the one away that's over the pocket, and it will be one to the left centre, and then one down the rail as his last ball. Just needs to navigate the gap, whether he plays it as a straight screw back or if he uses the cushion. Just needs to come back at anywhere where he is now is good. Puts it almost exactly where he was.
Slight shake of the head, but he's absolutely fine.
Two ways of playing this. Kill it with the right hand side. The cue ball will bounce off the cushion about 3 inches, or he can come across the table and play it in the same pocket. Potted it fat, which meant that he held the cue ball. This has been a very, very good performance from Jon McAllister.
It really has. Fantastic from Jon McAllister. 4 frames to 1.
Dom Cooney will stay out there. This time he takes on Declan Brennan, with both players desperately needing a win to have any chance of going through.
We started with 4. There is still 3 that can qualify. Declan Brennan and Jon McAllister both have a win and a draw and sit on 3 points. Dom Cooney has a win and a loss. He sits on 2. He has to win this one to have a chance of going through, but he will need help in our final match of the night, where Jon will play Brian Halcrow. If Declan Brennan was to win this one, he would be guaranteed, worst weight, a 6 red shootout. A lot can still happen out there, but it is Dom Cooney with the first opportunity. There is still a chance that Dom could end up in a 6 red shootout himself. If he was to win and Jon was to draw, he would be in a 6 red shootout. So a lot can happen here. But Dom knows he has to win.
So I know what you're all thinking. Whatever all that meant, let's just have a 6-red shootout.
There's a chance.
Declan Brennan won't be thinking, let's have a 6-red shootout. I can promise you that. He absolutely hates them. And he's quite honest and vocal about the fact that he dreads it and he couldn't really think of anything worse. But there's a very good chance that if he is going to qualify tonight, that's how it's going to have to be.
Yeah, nothing he can do about that right now. The only thing he can try and do is win this match, and if Jon was to win as well, then that's what would happen, but has to win this match first. And Dom has just put himself in a world of trouble.
Yeah, well, Dom's just took the wrong ball. Dom should have been playing the other one with just trace of left-hand side and just flicking the cue ball around 2 cushions and landed dead straight on that one. Why he was taking that one, I'll never know.
So that he could play that shot.
So he could just flick that one in. He wants the highlights reel.
And he's on the 8 ball as well.
He wants his social media to grow. That's what that one is.
He got there in the end. Great clearance from Dom Cooney to start this match.
Yeah, the roller coaster of emotions, and this is obviously what you have to deal with as a pool player. You know, it's your mental strength.
Yeah, and you throw a dry break of that quality, because he hit this probably as well as any break he's hit tonight on the back of what happened in the opening frame, and yeah, he's not going to be sitting in his chair with too many positive thoughts right now.
Yeah, you're right. That was definitely the best break, I think, of the night from anybody. It was dry and easy to sit there and think, here we go again. But yeah, it's just going back to that of mentally how you deal with stuff like that happening. I get asked a lot about, it's a question of how you deal with adversity and bad luck, good luck, your opponent doing crazy things, you having bad nudges, and it's all part and parcel of the game, and it's how you deal with it. Should only cost you that one frame if it's going to cost you the frame, and if it costs you any more, that's because you let it do it. You let it affect you mentally.
Yeah, well, he may get some hope in this frame, because the opening 2 shots from Dom here in this chance have been pretty poor by his standards. Put himself in an awkward position.
Maybe twice across here to land on the red in the opposite right centre.
Well, that miss has opened everything up for Declan here.
Yeah, and the fact he had an angle to screw back and bump his bad ball out there was a bonus. Can he pop this yellow into the right corner? Just top forward, take the one into the left centre. And in taking the one to the left centre, well, now he's got an angle, he will drift up for his bad ball, and the bad ball is the one on the top cushion. But he's underdone it, but he's on the other one.
Too far. Going to be travelling on this shot.
Yeah, most shots in this frame have been a fraction too far, haven't they, or a fraction too short. They just can't quite get that cue ball exactly where he wants it. Play this off the red, or he can top round 3 cushions, or he can play a stun shot off 1 cushion. What a shot that is.
That is fantastic.
That is so much harder than it looks. And just when it mattered, he did get the cue ball under control.
Yeah, that was very good from Declan. Excellent last positional shot. 1-1.
Declan Brennan won a scrappy third frame to go in front, and he has the break in frame 4.
Centre cue ball again. Had success with it before. Ooh. His heart would have been in his mouth when he saw the cue ball come back off the pack, because this looked like for all the world it was in. And even if it doesn't go in direct, when it's so close, you always run the risk of it being kicked in by another ball. So he'll be over the moon to see the cue ball still on the table, and these yellows are nice.
Yeah, be happy now.
Yeah, he has one problem ball, but again, whenever you have a problem ball and you have the perfect kicker ball into it, like he has here over this left centre, this is impossible for him not to cannon this bad ball out.
Just about okay.
15 seconds shot clock in play.
As we go into the final 5 minutes, 15 seconds a shot.
Yeah, it's better than it looks. The one that's underneath the red does pass into the right corner, so he doesn't have to nudge anything again. He just has to put the cue ball exactly there. Purposely left this yellow over this bottom right corner, so he could just leave the cue ball if needed in bulk like this, and this offers the perfect position for the 8 ball. So all along was always leaving this ball.
Well, break clearance from Declan. 2 clear. 3:31 left on the clock. Very strong position for Declan. Has to win, remember. So 3 frames in the next 3 minutes 31. And he's going to get a chance here.
Declan was
He
out
was.
of the blocks. Towel was down and he was half up. But once again, he has a little bit of work to do.
Red ball's in play.
Plays the cannon nicely, exactly as played. You just get the feeling that nothing is coming easy at the minute for Declan, is it? He's going to have to sweat it out again, providing Dom gets this finish, that is. He's played a good shot here. If Dom's dry there, then it's match over. Declan doesn't even have to clear the balls, really. If he gets down to potting a few, it would have been match over time-wise. As it is, it's game on. There's going to be around 2 minutes left.
Yeah, just over the 2 minute mark. A lot can still happen here.
Gets a ball. Cue ball nearly gets kicked in. Does get kicked
wow.
in. Oh my God, wow.
What happened, ball?
Oh, feel Declan Brennan's pain. And look at this for a layout. He's got one problem at the bottom of the table.
He's got one problem on both colour suits, isn't he?
He'll want to do this quickly enough to give himself a chance of a break clearance if it went to the decider. But how about this? Oh, it's horrible. Okay, could argue that he could have gone in off at the top of the table, but...
Well, I think Dom's took the wrong colours.
Be a very relieved Declan Brennan coming to the table right now. That should be the match. He can control the pace of this from here. Now there's a minute left on the clock. 5 balls in the open. You don't have to do anything more than pot those on the beeps.
Yeah, ball in hand. Yeah, those were the balls. One thing I will say though is it's easy sitting here when you have the luxury of looking at a screen and an overhead camera and all the different great camera angles that you get. When you're out there, you just get whatever you see, and in that time of 15 seconds, sometimes it's not a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes your instinct says reds to you, and you have to go reds because that's what you've gone for. As Dom says, enough is enough. And he steps forward, shakes hands. Declan Brennan has done all he can. 2 wins and a draw. He's going to ask a question of Jon McAllister. Can he respond? He needs to win in the final match.
On to the 6th and final match of the night. Brian Halcrow versus Jon McAllister. And it is Brian that has the opening break.
Simple scenario. It's Brian Halcrow versus Jon McAllister. Brian Halcrow is out. Jon McAllister needs to win to take us to a 6-red shootout with Declan Brennan. Any other result, and it will be the Northern Irishman, Declan, that will be going through to the 2nd stage. And it is Brian Halcrow to get us underway with another cut break.
Eight ball was moving. Flies across to the right-hand side of the table and nearly goes into the left middle.
It is an interesting breaking style he's got. He really is standing up on it. Mixed results for this break tonight. This one is okay. That isn't.
Yeah, obviously Declan Brennan is a Brian Halcrow fan at the minute. Wouldn't be a fan of that shot.
Well, let me ask you, if you're in Declan's position, what would you be doing? Would you be going and having a bit of a warm-up on the 6-red shootout?
Well, I think you have to. Does it make a difference? Yeah, I think it can. I think it can make a difference to your brain. You know, you're getting used to running around the table, and it can be a bit of a shock, the 6-red shootout. When you break off, you can get a bit like rabbit in the headlights. So I think by just practicing it a little bit, your brain almost adapts to that quick hit, whatever you see next type scenario. So I think for that reason alone, you have to go and practice it and just try and customize yourself to it a little bit, and then of course hope that you get some luck with the break and you break off and the balls come out. Because when they're tricky and when they're awkward, it's very, very easy to panic, and we have seen some situations out there that the players can get a little bit embarrassed, and you end up where you just want the ground to swallow you up, and you hope you don't have one of them moments. So I think you have to go and practice it just for your own. I personally would, just for my own, personal headspace, to say, okay, look, I have been and put some time in, I have practiced it, and what will be will be. Everyone's different, of course.
Yeah, and Declan's had some tough moments, let's say, in the 6-red shootouts. Lost in the Pairs Cup final via a 6-red shootout. Missed to pot down the cushion to win it.
Yeah, that iconic moment, isn't there, from the Pairs final, and
I also got knocked out of this year's Pairs, the one that you ended up winning via a 6-red shootout, and one where it looked like they were nailed on to win and just went half a second over, as well as losing out on a couple of individual ones which were incredibly tight as well. Has won on a 6-red shootout as well, so it's not been all doom and gloom, but it's certainly not his best friend out there.
Yeah, as you said, there's been some real big moments, hasn't there, that hasn't been the best to him, and I think that's why he's so scarred by it and hates it. But yeah, I think the last one you're talking about, I don't know if he was maybe waiting for the bleeps, and he had to obviously hit it way before then, but either way, it is definitely easier said than done.
Well, that shot may give him hope that he doesn't need it, though. Jon has snookered himself on his final ball. Just grazed off the red, and he's in a world of trouble all of a sudden.
Yeah, timed it too well, didn't he? Fizzed back off the red. And even hitting it isn't the easiest because he needs to play this with a lot of left-hand side.
Good solid contact, but has left Brian a great chance here. Not a great shot, though. He's put himself in trouble. Should still be able to control a safety shot here. I don't think he can continue the clearance. Nicely played shot. The one thing that shot does do for him is at least it opens up those reds in the middle of the table.
What it also does is gives Jon a crack at it.
Another good solid contact, but can't get it going towards a pocket. So another chance for Brian. Using a decent amount of the clock as well with this back and forth. Over a quarter of the match gone. It's a tough match for Brian when you know you can't qualify through. Still ranking points available, though. A win here would time up with Dom Cooney. So still plenty to play for out there for Brian. That's not what he wanted, but he does get the opening frame on the board.
Jon McAllister got himself in front by winning the next 2 frames and has the break in frame 4.
He's not there yet, though. But a good break here will help him. And it's dry. Is there a twist? Good layout here.
Yeah, but he wants yellows. And he's got to clip one into the middle. I think it's a natural for the cue ball to come around 3 cushions.
He was trying to see if he could get to the one over the bottom left-hand corner. That doesn't look on. This will feel like frame ball, though, the way that they're laid out. Good pot. Not the perfect position, but he's okay.
They look really easy, but you have to make sure that you get the cue ball in the right place here, because these can be missed if you take these in the wrong order. And already it's slightly going awry.
Yeah, just awkward. The angle on this one's not good.
He has to leave a big angle, doesn't he, on this penultimate yellow across the top cushion. If you haven't got a big angle, you can't get on the yellow, and he does have some angle.
Well, if he can't get onto it at the corner, does it go? Can he get short side on its top right? No, he's tried to get on it to its natural home and nowhere near. I say nowhere near. Is there a gap?
Oh, is he that far short that he's on it? On the inside.
It didn't look close. Had to turn it. And that could well be that for Brian in this match. And for Declan and his hopes of getting through without the 6 red shootout. Jon McAllister, 1 minute 33 left, can just control this visit and take us the distance.
Brian just looks like he's missing his slippers and his pipe sitting there.
Yeah, not been Brian's night. Started off so well for him as well. Really nice clearance in his opening frame, and ever since then, it's all gone against him. Made a few mistakes along the way as well.
Yeah, as I said, Brian's been around for a long time, and from Newcastle upon Tyne, and he been a fantastic player, and he does hold the world record for the fastest 6 red shootout, which I know it's something that he's very, very proud of, and rightly so. I think it will take some beating for somebody to beat 15 seconds. He made 2 balls off that break. Something that he's always going to have, and as I said, I think it's going to be for quite a long time. Been his night, but we are going to have a 6 red shootout.
Yeah, 6 red shootout it is. Jon McAllister and Declan Brennan. I always felt like that was on the cards when they drew in their opening match. 2-0 it was to Declan at one point. Jon pulled it back. Buzzer beater made it 2-2. They've won their next 2 matches each, and that means we're going to go to extra time.
Fantastic break.
Has to wait though for that red to get out of the way, but now he can absolutely fly. This is a lovely layout.
Very, very quick. He's had to wait for that, but this is still going to be quick. This is going to be one of the quickest times we've seen.
Got to wait for that cue ball, don't risk the foul, and he did. Sub 20 is very good. Very good indeed. At one point, it felt like the record could be on. He just let a couple of seconds go there, but if you're going first, as you said, sub 20 is very, very good. We will wait for the official time. He's stuck a little bit.
And he's had to wait, and he's stuck. And
Now he's in trouble.
Now it's over.
And he knows it.
That's that.
Yeah, all down to that break, and he knew it almost instantly when the break didn't come out for him. It wasn't going to be for Jon McAllister, so it is Declan Brennan who manages to get over the line via a 6 red shootout.
Great drama and another great group, but it is Declan Brennan that makes his way through to the second stage of the Champions League. If you'd like to watch this whole night back, you can. It is on ultimatepool.tv. Or if you're looking forward to next week, then this is what we have for you. Rob Warren, Hitam Patel, Joe O'Connor and Lewis Roberts will do battle in Group 7 of the Ultimate Pool Champions League.